Am I doing it? I'm doing what do you call it? The millennial pause. That's what I did, the millennial pause. Where you have to check and see if you're recording before you say anything. I just did that. Newsflash. I'm a millennial. Who knew? So, this is a little scary. I've never been live before. I don't think I have the personality or the face to go live, but here we are. It's 2023. Change the narrative, whatever. I'm just like tired of not doing stuff. So, you just got to do stuff. So this is me doing stuff. I am not a speechwriter. As is probably evident because I'm a millennial. That means I barely have a job, let alone something creative like writing speeches. But is probably my third favorite word, which from what I understand is not a trait of an effective speechwriter. Thank you, Miss Sawyers. I don't remember my high school English teacher that gave me a hard time. I feel like I should know this person's name. I know she wore stilettos every day. I could watch in real time as the muscles in her legs just shrunk and tightened. I don't know how she did it. I could never. Can't remember her name either, but she was cruel to me and told me I wouldn't. No, she did. She was fine, I think. I don't remember. It was a long time ago. Because I'm a millennial. I'm old. Graduated college already 13 years ago. So, I'm out of the game for a while. Rambling speeches. That's where I'm at. I am tired of not doing things. So I want to start off with a public apology, I guess, to y'all, my 130 subscribers. Thank you. And I think more to myself. Y'all are important, and I think it's important to apologize to you, but I think it's more important to apologize to myself at this juncture in my life. I have taken too much time off lately. Way too much time off. These are my notes, by the way. This is this is the speech that I wrote for you. So this time that I took off, I wish I could say that it was because I was busy working. But the reality is that I was busy being kind of messed up and being unwell. So one brilliant thing that happened in 2022 is that I got to perform at the Dragon Con Burlesque show, which was chef's kiss. It was amazing. I had so much fun. I got to bring Jeff the accountant from Our Flag Means Death. I got to do my drag and striptease number to the chain, and it was all in sign language, and I sign interpreted the song. It was so good, and I'm really proud of the work that I did, and really happy that I had the opportunity to do that. But I came home with COVID. So, start of September, I got COVID, and it was unkind to me. And I don't even know what happened in September after I got back from the convention. I really don't even know what happened. I think a lot of pain. I remember taking a bath, sometimes 2 or 3 a day. Our water bill, apparently my spouse said our water bill was through the roof. for the month of September. But I don't even know. And like, I'm going through, I went through all of my sick leave at work. I had no more sick leave left after September. And I'm still going through my emails at my muggle job and finding things that I missed because I don't know what happened in September. I just don't know. So September was COVID, which was so good. I don't do it. Wear your masks. Stay home. It's not over. People say it's like a bad cold. The bout I had with COVID was not a bad cold. It was miserable. And in fact, it is still affecting me how many of her months later in ways that like don't get talked about. So, that was no fun. October, what even happened in October? I think I was catching up from September, from missing an entire month of my life, catching up with work, catching up with fitness, getting my life back on schedule fitness-wise, I think is what happened in October. I don't even think I did anything for Halloween, and that's my favorite time of the year ever. What did we do for Halloween? I cannot remember. My brain is gone. November. Here we go. November happened. Right here in the middle. Let me circle it. You can watch in real time as I circle. November happened. November was tough. Start of November, I went to Oregon for my brother's wedding, which was amazing. It was so cool. Everyone dressed up like elves and fairies and crap. It was amazing. As soon as I landed, though, I got a text from a family member that said, like, your dad is in jail again. For things that I'm not going to go into because it is not family friendly at all. And I don't want to put my whole life out there for the world. But November started with finding out that my like entire childhood was a lie, and like things happened that just I will not. I'll never financially recover from this. I will never be the same again. November was a month of finding out who I am and who the people who I trusted are. So, I mean, not to make excuses, but when something traumatic happens, I think you're allowed to be miserable. I think you're allowed to have a pity party. I think you're allowed to pity party for a while. I think that's okay. And that was what November was a lot of pity party for myself. And I had a lot of sweets and dances and a lot of working out. I'm still running a lot, so that's good. But yeah, no, November was not a good month for me. And then November ended. Wake me up when November. No. December, I feel like, so at the start of November, I had this like intense family / self-discovery. And then December started and I'm like full of ideas and full of like, I'm ready to kind of accept the things that I can't change and accept the way that I've been treated and either use it or lose it. I'm ready to do something in spite of like how I feel, I guess. So I hung out with my family a lot in December, my spouse's family specifically. I made had a lot of inspiration in December and a lot of ideas and a lot of planning, which I will now go into now. Which I will go into now. Oh man, I'm really good at this off the cuff speaking thing. I'm very good. You know, someone hire me as an extemporaneous speaker or something. I don't know. So I've got a lot of big projects coming up. Me and Low Hanging Shakespeare. First big thing that I'm working on is an oracle deck. So the idea, I've started learning tarot. I've spent the last, 10 years going, man, I'd like to learn tarot. And then I thought about all those people that say to me, like, oh, I want to learn to sign, and then they never do it. And I was like, man, I'm being that kind of tool bag about tarot. So I've actually started, I'm keeping a journal. I'm reading some books, watching some videos. I'm actually learning tarot now very slowly. Maybe by the time I'm 40, I'll have a rudimentary grasp of it. But I am taking steps to actually do the thing. But while I've been learning about tarot and looking at my cards, I'm thinking man, why isn't there a Shakespeare oracle deck? And I Googled it, and there's a couple of things that could amount to a Shakespeare oracle deck with mixed reviews. So I have decided that I'm going to make my own. And I'm going to take you all with me on that journey. 52 weeks a month. 52 weeks a year, not a month. It's 4 weeks a month. 52 weeks a year. 52 playing cards in a traditional playing card deck, right? 13 cards and 4 suits. So my plan is to read a play every week on Sundays. So if you want to read with me, I'm thinking about streaming it live, the reading. And we can just, even if it's just 2 of us, we can just go back and forth reading the lines to each other. Even if there's 9 people in a scene, we'll just go back and forth and just play and enjoy the actual reading of Shakespeare, because reading Shakespeare by yourself kind of sucks. But Sundays, I'm thinking I read a play. This Sunday, I reread for the 19,000th time Romeo and Juliet. And then on Thursdays, I think I will live stream as I draw the card. And while I'm drawing, I'm going to talk about what I'm thinking about, why I picked this particular thing to draw, or what my major takeaways for the play were and how I'm incorporating them into the card. So that when people are learning the deck, they can come watch the videos and go into my head, and really find out what I was thinking when I drew them, if they want to. I understand some people will not want to do that. They'll want to have their own intuition, their own experiences inform their understandings of the cards. And that's fine. But I do want to have that aspect available if people do want to figure out what the hell is going on up here when they're looking at it down here. So that's my main big project for 2023. 52 weeks a year, 52 cards, 1 card a week. It's going to be very hard. But when I sit down and think about how much time I waste on Facebook and Instagram and stuff, I think it won't be any more time than I spend just staring at the TV watching Impractical Jokers. So that's big thing number one. That's that. Big thing number two is I'm going to be writing quite a lot. I have a screenplay, a feature length screenplay that I'm going to work on, which I'm going to need grants and ideas for funding for this one, because I think that it could do really well and give a lot of people a lot of opportunities they wouldn't normally get in film. So I'm working on that. I've got a novel that I'm working with my shiny new mentor. So 2022, ask and you shall receive. I kind of went out on a limb in maybe November sometime. And I asked somebody that I know who's a professional writer, novelist. They own a publishing company. Man, English. And I asked them, hey, if you ever want to actually mentor somebody, I know someone who could use some mentorship. And lo and behold, they said yes. What? So I have an official mentor, and they're working with me on prepositions are hard. They're working with me on getting a manuscript done, a nice manuscript that I can then send out and query. So that's gonna be good. I did get a short story into an anthology, more on that later. I don't think I'm allowed to say anything about it yet, but there is a short story publication in the works. And I'm still working on some TV scripts, some pilots, and some series scripts. So writing. There's going to be a lot of writing in 2023. Finally, big thing number 3, which is why I'm live right now, is for this monster, this low-hanging Shakespeare situation, which I've greatly enjoyed the 5 sonnets that I've done so far, but it's kind of boring to just sit in front of my camera and just talk about sonnets by myself. So I'm going to, kind of in association with my Oracle deck, maybe talk about some more topical or interesting in the moment to me subjects that have to do with what I'm reading or what I've read or what I'm drawing or what I'm thinking about related to Shakespeare, that's not just looking at sonnets and scripts and monologues line by line. I would still like to do that. I definitely do want to do all the sonnets. I do still want to do that. But I think that it was a lot of pressure to do a sonnet every week. It was sitting in front of a camera for an hour as I deconstructed this poem line by line just by myself in front of a camera. It felt like a chore almost. So I need to find a way to make it a little bit more interesting to me as I'm doing it, or else I'm not going to do it anymore. And I don't want to not do it anymore because I got a comment today from someone who I'm pretty sure I don't know. They said they have to thank me for making sonnet 3 easier for them to understand. Crying. It's fine. So it is something that I still want to do, and but I think maybe I should look at different formats. Maybe I do, I'm filming. Maybe I do it live. Maybe that's the thing. Because I found that reading it and then editing it and then saving it and posting it, and all this stuff was just it was so much time. I should let the us be us, I guess. Maybe live is the way to go. Regardless, I'm looking at thinking about different things that I can do. Maybe some YouTube shorts. Maybe finally getting off my bum and doing something on TikTok. I don't know. But something to get low-hanging Shakespeare back up and running after September, October, November, December. 4 months of inactivity. Yikes. So there's that. Also, did you notice? So I have specifically mentioned here, check out the new setup. Check out the new setup. Look at this thing. It cat. Look at it. I'm going to poke it. That's Fen. If I go live very often, she will be interrupting. So I figure I might as well introduce her now. And I even set her up this little pedestal. She's got her cat windowsill and a little claw board over here on the desk, right on the other side. And there's a little cat bed and a little chair. She will end up in my face at some point during a live stream. And you're going to have to just celebrate that with me because she's perfect. So anyway, that's the main kind of thing that I'm thinking about 2023. Three big things. Hopefully a lot of small things in there too. Yeah. I should talk about Patreon, I guess. So I do have a Patreon page. I'm gonna have to I don't actually know what the URL is. Please hold while I find out what my own thing is. It is patreon.com/Reese_harp. RIS_HARP. And I think I'm going to post some in-depth looks at the Oracle deck as I'm working on it. And also, if you're a patron, it's going to help me to actually someday, God's willing, do creative junk for money. And so I don't have to keep my 9-to-5 that pays for my student loans. I know you have better stuff to pay for, but, if you want to help me make weird/cool stuff, go to patreon.com/Reese_harp. RIS_HARP. Now I feel dirty. I need to get used to telling people to follow me or asking them to give me money. I gotta get used to that. Learned about this thing called rejection therapy recently, which is really cool, where you just kind of ask people to do things for you, kind of hoping that they say no, so you can get used to just hearing no a lot. I do hear no a lot. But it doesn't mean that I like asking people for stuff. So I gotta get over that. Gotta grow in 2023 a lot. I feel like I've said a lot in the last allotment of time. Anyway, Thanks for watching. I don't think anybody watched this live, and that's fine because it was a hot mess. But look at that. It was fun. I'm looking forward to going live a little bit more, getting more comfortable with the medium, maybe having some guests on that we can talk about stuff and read stuff together. That would be amazing. But for now, I'm gonna say thank you so much for your support and for your subscriptions, your monetary support if you're a Patreon subscriber. Just thank you for sticking with me through whatever the heck even is this world and this life, especially the last 4 or 5 months. Thank you. And I hope that you'll indulge me in the coming months as I do some weird, fun crap and, try to remember what being alive on this planet is about. Right? It's playtime, y'all. Thanks so much.